Hello, and welcome back to Mind and Miles podcast with me, your host, Sarah Eidman. Today, I'm going to chat a little bit about post the North Coast 500, where I am going, my ideas, what's happening in my life a little bit. And yeah, I've rebranded the podcast to match the rest of my new brand that's happening, which is all very exciting. Been busy behind the scenes, keeping myself busy and occupied post North Coast 500. And I do apologise if I am sounding a little bit sniffly. It is because I seem to have got the cold, which is a little bit annoying, but could be a lot worse. So yeah, just in case I sound a little bit sniffly, I am. I apologise. So yeah, I'm kind of like going off some of the points that I spoke about in the Substack, and just kind of wanted to talk on the reflections that I've had since the North Coast 500, and obviously the most asked question is what is next, and what I'm kind of thinking, but also why I'm not talking about it really a lot at the moment. Also, if you can see the cat's tail, she's floating about the background. This just seems to be the best lighting place that my flat has at the moment, which is in the corner next to my wardrobe. Yeah, so I guess like I thought I'd talk a little bit about how it's felt since coming back from the NC, because I have felt probably pretty lost and just a bit like don't really know what's going on with my life. And I think because there's quite a few things that have compounded with that. I think because of my autism, I kind of running is definitely a special interest of mine, and the North Coast had definitely become a special interest as well. So I think kind of not being able to run, plus the North Coast 500 finishing, plus not having the kind of adrenaline and hype of completing it and being injured, it just kind of everything just went like a little bit haywire for a while. And you know, there's a lot of other reasons. A lot of it, well, I'm pretty much an open book on the internet. There is still stuff I don't really want to talk about, or it doesn't feel appropriate to talk about at the current time and moment. So yeah, there's like loads of stuff that kind of contributed to it and stuff. Like, it has been quite tough since coming back, but it's also made me really realise like how much I want this and how much I want to persist with running, ultra running, with all the highs and lows that come with it. Like, that is the amazing thing. Like, you can have such big highs and such incredible lows, and you can have them within the span of an hour. But it has made me realise that I do want to pursue this, and it is something that I want to do more of. I just need to be patient, basically. But also, while being patient, also be active about what I am doing on and off train, like with training and in training. And yeah, if I look back, it really I don't feel like the same person that lined up at the North Coast. That feels completely crazy. Like, thinking about that, I'm like, oh my God, everyone keeps asking, will you do it again? And I think I will, not for a while because I want to race, but I do feel like I lost a lot of that fearlessness in me of just being like, yeah, this is my goal, let's go. I feel like I have a lot more self-doubt because I really did think I could do it, and I think I was physically there, just obviously my leg was not. My leg wasn't there. So I think my confidence took a big knock. And yeah, just I don't know how I was so fearless to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go and run 500 miles. Why not? And I want to get back into that mindset. I want to get back into that kind of big goal mindset, big achievement mindset. But right now, like, I feel very much an imposter in this space. And because I haven't raced this year, I do feel like I still need to prove myself, not particularly to anyone, but to myself. So yeah, it's a funny old headspace to be in. But I really don't think we speak a lot about the aftermath of when you have a big goal and it doesn't go wrong, or it doesn't go wrong. It goes well, or even if it doesn't go well, like, it's that kind of thing of after a big goal, you always have a kind of lull. And I know a lot of like, there is Olympians that speak out about that after, like, 4 years of prep, they have whatever happens, whether it's a gold or a DNF, they have that kind of come down almost. And again, like, I was expecting it. We knew that would happen because it happens to everybody after any race mostly. Like, people have a post-race blues. It's quite a vibe. It's very common. And it's something, moving forward, I will definitely be planning better. Sorry, I am not comfortable sitting here. I'm going to beanbag kind of balance to try not to get the rest of my crap in it. So yeah, I think it's a way of talking more about the failure, but also like I learned so much, and I learned so much more than if I had been successful on it. Like I wouldn't have learned all the stuff that I needed to learn at that point in time. So I think that's a major thing of like talking about how it feels to fail, but also the learnings, and while at the time you're like, no, I don't want to see a silver lining in this, like I failed, like it's a failure. I truly believe that nothing in life is a failure. Like it's only a failure if you don't learn from it. So for me, it's like, as long as I learn from these lessons and I take these lessons moving forward, then it's not a failure. The thing that would be was if I didn't learn the lessons, and if I go and make the same mistakes again, then it's a failure, because then I've literally not learned from it. So what's the point? But I mean, the learnings was not so much my physical stuff. I guess one of the big things was I probably should have communicated how much pain I was in, because I didn't really do that, but I was really scared of it getting pulled. But yeah, most of the learnings were about ultra running, and I think that's the thing with ultra running. You will always be a student of the sport, or you should be. If you feel like you're no longer a student of the sport, then I feel like you've lost your way. But I'm very much going to be a student of the sport my whole life, and I hope I do have it as part of my life for a long, long time. But yeah, it was very much a big bit of a dip, and yeah, it's just weird how I don't feel like it's spoken about, and I don't feel like, people speak after achievements or things. It's very much like what happens when you achieve or what happens when you succeed, not really what happens when you fail. But I guess like society doesn't really like those stories. Like, I don't know, they're not like the cool stories that people want to hear. But yeah, and I do kind of feel like I wasted the year, and I definitely felt at the time I'd wasted a year, and I know I haven't fully wasted a year, but I do still feel like I've wasted a year of what I could have been racing, could have been building. Like I was in such a good physical space, mentally and physically, that it feels a shame not to have something to show for that. And I know there is plenty to show, but it feels like a shame that I don't have a race result, or I don't have something I can be like, oh look, I actually did this. And I know there's stuff I can do with the NC, but that doesn't. I think because I want to be an athlete and I want to be a competitive runner, it's not the same as people that do endurance challenges, and not having any race results doesn't matter to kind of endurance runner, like the endurance challenge people. But for me, like I need race results to be able to pitch myself to sponsors, to start trying to make more of this, and also to show to myself what I can and can't do, like what needs work in my racing, what needs this, what needs that. Like, so it does feel like I've wasted a year in that sense. However, it was what I needed to do at the time, and if it had gone well, I would definitely not be saying I wasted a year. I'd still be saying, well, I've not raced, I've not got anything to show race-wise, but I don't think I'd feel the same. And I have to think, like, I didn't want to fear the outcome, whatever happened, and I just need to continue to learn. And I don't regret doing it, I regret the outcome, but yeah, I don't regret doing it. It does feel crazy, and it does feel like a lifetime ago. It feels like, yeah, as I say, it feels like a different person, but at the same time, that girl's still there, and I'll get her back. Yeah, and it showed me what I can do. Like when I'm fearless, when I take away the fear of judgment and societal pressures and everything, and I just go and do me, I'm pretty good at it, so I think that's what I'm really trying to get back to, is just doing me, because I can do that. There's only one person that knows how to do what I do every day, and I need to own that. So yeah, I think it's been tough. And then yeah, one of the questions is like, what has it been like returning to running, and like, is it different before? And yeah, it does feel different before. Like I don't have the motivation right now to go out and train. I don't have the same vibes when I'm training. Like, don't particularly enjoy it, don't really want to do it most of the time, even though I know I do want to do it, but I want to do it. That's the thing. I was like, I'm doing this because I know I need to, and I know I want to, but I don't have that there in the moment. I don't feel like I'm getting the dopamine, but I also know if I wasn't to train, I would get, like, mentally, I would go to such a dark place. So it's making sure I show up for myself every day, even if I don't feel like it, even if I have a bad session, which is most sessions right now, or they're not bad sessions, no session's bad, but they don't feel good. Like, it doesn't feel like my body, it doesn't feel like what I'm trying to do, that I do still just have to motivate myself, and I have to get out the door, because otherwise I wouldn't. Like, I could go to probably a really dark mental space, and I have grown enough to know I don't want to do that. And for me, training and having a purpose with training is the most useful thing that I've found. You know, having a race to get ready for, having goals in mind is what keeps me going and keeps me looking after myself and keeps me wanting to be the best version of myself for me, rather than thinking I just need to be better for other people. Like, it makes me want to be better, it makes me want to do better and to show up for myself. So whilst running and training in general just doesn't feel amazing right now, it still has such a positive effect in my life that if I wasn't doing it, there would be such a negative effect. And especially as it comes into the winter, like it really does help and facilitate how I feel about myself and how I feel about just life. And I'm so much more productive when I've had when I've been training. I'm much more productive and a much nicer person. And then, yeah, I think something that is keeping me busy is obviously, North Coast finished, and then uni finished. I finally submitted my last piece of uni work in August, so that was exciting. It means I am just waiting on my results, which I will hopefully get a week today to know whether I am a qualified counsellor or not. But yeah, it's kind of like people keep being like, oh, but what are you doing now? Like, how are you spending your time? Like, what are you doing for work? And so I have been trying to build my little brand, little business plan. I was going to do it more like around myself. Like, that sounds so cringe, but like just make myself my kind of brand. But then as I got planning, I came up with Mind and Miles, and that kind of fits what I am like all together, I think. Because it combines my running, my fitness coaching, and then counselling. And I think that's what I'm really looking into now, is kind of promoting and getting clients for my online coaching. And yeah, that's what I do, because I could go back to full-time like fitness class teaching, but for me that wasn't good for my mind or body. So it's like, I'm not going to put myself through that again. So I'm trying to create like how my life will work for me in the best way I can for my own mental well-being. And I think once I get my qualification through as a counsellor as well, like that will 100% be kind of top of my list, doing online and walk and talk. But yeah, I think, and that's something I will definitely do a full podcast on, building my brand and why I'm doing it the way I am and what that means for me as somebody who's neurodivergent as well. And also probably why I'm always like aware on these things, like my face probably isn't the most expressive as I try and make my face really expressive, and my voice doesn't always go up and down, but that is like, I'm not going to say like a symptom, because it's not an illness. It's like it's kind of a show sign of neurodivergence in autism. Often the facial expressions don't match your feelings, or your intonation doesn't match. Just in case anyone's like, your voice is so monotone. I try and not make it monotone, but some days I'm tired. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on. But I do want to talk more about that at some point. And yeah, weirdly, like this month is 10 years ago since I moved to Edinburgh, and I don't even know what I thought was my plan. Like, I'm not sure what my plan was for that. Hi, Stormy. Hello. My little cat. My big cat, not a little cat. And, oh, you're saying hi. You're literally coming up to say hello. Say hi to everybody. But yes, I think, I don't know what my plan was. It was to become a clinical psychologist, and it still kind of is. There was a lot of times where that just didn't feel possible, like that wasn't going to happen. And now it feels like it might be something I will eventually do, maybe. But yeah, it was just weird that it's 10 years, and like the first week I moved to Edinburgh, I ran my first half marathon, and it was so bad. It was just, oh my god, I hate it. It was awful. Did not enjoy it. I remember sitting on a pavement and this guy being like, "You've got this, like keep going." Like it was just, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. You cat. So I have yep, I don't know how she's going to get out there now. Storm, she's stuck. Come on then. Oh dear. Come on, out. Stormy, what's this? What's this? Ready? Yeah. Go. 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 Storm. No, not the laptop. So it's been weird thinking it's 10 years since I moved to Edinburgh, and that I ran my first half marathon. It was horrendous. And I didn't run another one until 4 years later when I was finishing my undergrad degree. I thought I'll do one at the start and do one at the end. And just to think where I've come from there. And yeah, I don't think I thought I'd still be in Edinburgh. I don't know where I thought I'd be or what I would exactly be doing. Definitely not anything like I am just now, I don't think. But again, I think that's life. Like, if we try and plan and none of the plans come to fruition, like, planning is great and you can create certain plans, but I feel like the big plans, you're just like, just gonna see what happens. Like, I definitely thought I'd probably have a husband, I'd probably be in a house, I'd have a stable job. Didn't think I'd be doing crazy runs though. So that's the cool part, you know. It's like, well, what would I be missing out if what I had thought would happen happened? What would not have happened? Like, what would there be left? So trusting the process. I think you can see my little, oh, can you see it there? I have my little signpost on my wardrobe. So yeah, and then yeah, looking ahead, I guess, yeah, everyone keeps asking what's next. I am hoping to race before the end of the year if my body is good enough. If not, which I'm actually not going to talk about what the race will be or when it is, etc., because I want to make sure it's just, there's no external pressures, because I'll be putting enough pressure on myself anyway. And I just want to make sure that I'm doing it all for the right reasons. I'm not doing it for social media, I'm not doing it for sponsors, etc. I'm doing it for me, and I think that's really important. Because I do feel like a lot of people do things for social media, and that is fine if that is how you want to live your life, but it's not how I want to live my life. And I want to make sure this race is for me, you know, rather than trying to prove myself to people or to anything else. I just want it to be, yeah, for me. So if my body is good enough, that'll be what I'll be doing. And if I get to that race, amazing. If I don't, it is what it is. And I will definitely, hopefully, as long as the body again is fine, do the Arc of Attrition in January, which is 100 miles in Cornwall. So that's the A goal, is Arc of Attrition. And then anything else on top of that is just an added bonus. And yeah, I will just be waiting to hear if I get onto this Masters that I've applied for. But again, if that doesn't work out, I'm totally okay with that. I'm like, it is what it is. I'll be fine. And yeah, just building mind and miles, I guess, which is exciting. Terrifying, and again, not what I thought I'd be doing 6 months ago even. Like, I really didn't think I'd be doing this. So yeah, I guess I'm just trusting, as we say, trust the process, don't fear the outcome, and I'm really trying to embody that this year. I think I've had to embody that this year, and that is what I will keep doing, I think. But yeah, my plan is to have podcasts every 2 weeks now, maybe get some guests on at some point, but maybe do more like question and answers rather than just me rambling away. But yeah, let me know if you've got any feedback, any comments, anything that you guys want to know, want me to cover. And yeah, I'm happy to be led by whoever listens, essentially. But yeah, I'm thinking I more do like I would be having a co-host per se, but I will have the questions ready and then I can just answer them to kind of help it flow a little bit better. So unsure how that'll all work and how that'll all flow, but that is the hope. And yeah, just keep doing whatever you're doing. Yeah, my words of wisdom, just do you. However, if we are going for my absolute mantra, you know, trust the process, don't fear the outcome. Please do like, rate and subscribe. Thanks team, bye.